the World Club Championship. It's gone from 2 teams to 32 teams. For what? I just don't understand it. And it's pure greed.
During a rare midweek without an extra game, as it were, because of City being eliminated from the Carabao Cup, I thought I'd post up an extra video. This is a video segment from the audio podcast that we did with Joe Corrigan about 10 days ago. It's still available. You can still listen to it on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, whatever your preferred means of podcast is. And it's nearly an hour long, and Joe is really on form. Well, this is a little section where he talked about the Club World Cup and the number of games that City are playing and the toll that takes. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy this. Listen to the audio version as well, of course. And I'll be back for the video vlogs against Salford in the FA Cup at the weekend. Here's Big Joe.
You know, when you think of Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri and all these type of people, it's not fair, in my opinion. And it's not just for Manchester City, it's for every footballer that's playing today. In our days, we used to play 42 league games and we had FA Cups and League Cups, and that's all really we had, unless we were fortunate enough to get into Europe. But that was only, we were playing the champions or the third or fourth places if we were in the UEFA Cup, if the Champions League, which was, you know, the European Cup in those days. It was only maybe once a month. But now you're playing all over the world nearly twice a week. And it's got to take a toll. But City, you know, they've been fantastic. Everybody's after them. And unfortunately for football, in a way, other teams have learned because of the way City play and are catching up. And it's another environment that they're playing in.
I agree completely about the number of games. I mean, even looking at it from a fan's perspective, as I do these days, there are too many games. It's exhausting. It's too expensive. Now, you are a former player these days, Joe, but I know you care very much, and you just expressed that anyway about the welfare of players. Is it time for the players to I don't know, protest or stand up against this? Because on the one hand, players want as much money as they can out of the game, and I understand that, and they do, the top ones earn a hell of a lot of money, and the argument would be that the more games you play, the more tournaments you're in, the more money comes in to do those salaries. But on the other hand of it, it is burnout. It is too much. You do risk injury, even if, regardless of how we as fans feel about it all. You know, for footballers to be playing at that level week in, week out, as you said, every 3 days, surely it's too much. Something's got to give, hasn't it?
Well, it's showing in a lot. You know, there's a lot of teams that are similar to us in the league, in the Premiership, and it's showing in most of the teams. The unfortunate thing about it is all these players sign phenomenal contracts, and they therefore sign themselves to the fact that they have to play when they're asked to play. You know, and which was when we played, we had to play because we had to earn better money. Nowadays, they earn absolute fortunes. You know, I used to play for a basic wage, and I used to get crowd bonus, then I used to get a win bonus. You know, I remember my first reserve team game, I got 10 bob for going to Sheffield United. And, you know, I went home, my mother took it off me and, you know, gave me 2 and 6. But that's I'm diversifying, but the demands on players today is enormous because of television and advertising and things like that. But they are the ones who pay the wages. You know, everybody said we support the club, we support the players, but at the end of the day, in our days, the fans paid our wages. Nowadays, they don't. They just is an add-on to what's going on.
But given what we are watching as City fans of players almost aging in front of our faces and clearly suffering from burnout. And having read that the English PFA and the French equivalents have both threatened legal action, for example, against the summer tournament. As a City fan, I'm thinking the last thing I want my players, my club, the team I support, is to actually be in that tournament. It means basically another summer is gone. And I would support, a strike or, for them to the club to pull out, but the club are not going to pull out because there's too much money at stake. I forget the figures that I've read, but it's another big lump of money coming in. So nobody's going to pull out of it. If you were a player now, would you be tempted to want to strike or take action?
I would never go on strike. Never go on strike. It's a game I loved, a game I wanted to play. I wanted to play every day. I didn't want to train. I wanted to play. And it's not the players. It's the organisations that are running football. Because at the end of the day, Ian, FIFA and UEFA and the FA were only in our days an advisory board. That's all they were. They didn't interfere with things. They just advised what was going on. I played for England and I was very, very proud to play for England. But in our days when we played for England, we used to play every now and again, and then we were in the home internationals at the end of the season, and then if we were involved in a UEFA tournament, we'd go to the and a FIFA tournament, the World Cup, we'd go to them. But nowadays, they are producing tournaments that are just absolutely ridiculous. You take the World Club Championship; it's gone from 2 teams to 32 teams. For what? I just don't understand it. And it's pure greed.